Hi, welcome to a introductory video for Child Development 150 for the fall of 2019. In this video, I'm going to go over the syllabus and give you an overview of the class just generally. So this video will be a little bit long, but I just want to make sure that in the first week you guys feel really comfortable about the class and the things that we're going to cover. Right now, what I'm going to do is I am going to share the screen with what I have up on Canvas for you guys. So this is our home page for Child Development 150. So you should be in this very first module, which is the Welcome Start Here. I've got this video loaded right here. I've also got the syllabus and our success guide. This is what all of our video lectures are going to look like too. It will be a PowerPoint and then me off in the right-hand corner, kind of talking to you, telling you stories about when I was a manager and an administrator of child development programs. I just recently switched about a year ago away from kind of direct care into full-time teaching, but I was a supervisor either at state-funded, military, or private preschools. Was a teacher for about 11 years and then about 8 years of being a supervisor. So I share my experiences and things that I've gone through in order to hopefully enliven the PowerPoints and make them more fun for you guys and engaging as well. But we're right here, we're in this first module called Welcome Start Here. That's the welcome video that you found. I first want to touch on the Child Development Success Guide. If you haven't seen it, it's a free PDF that we have. It's really large and it's something that the full-times at Palomar Development have created for you guys. And this is a great resource if you have any questions about permitting, if you have any questions about how to write an APA style, what's an observation, careers you can go into. So this is a fantastic resource for you and I highly recommend checking it out. We have all of the information about your APA checklist, service learning if you're in the 115 class, using Canvas, observing, anything like that. So please check it out. It's a fantastic resource. Now I'm also going to pull up the syllabus for you guys and we will go over that just generally. I think it's important that you take a look at the syllabus. You definitely do not have to download and print it. This is an online class, that's totally up to you guys. But the syllabus will be there all semester, so if you ever need to come back and see our schedule, find our department webpage, find my email address, it's right here. All right, so it's fall 2019, this is 150, and this is the class about being a site supervisor and eventually maybe perhaps becoming a program director. So we do a lot of licensing, community care licensing, child protective services, going over all the types of programs that are under their early childhood education program umbrella, talking about running developmentally appropriate early childhood education. This is kind of a funny class in that it's child development related, but I really don't do a lot of theoretical child development work. The kind of understanding is that by 150, you know Piaget, Erikson, Vygotsky, Freud, Bowlby, Ainsworth, all of those people generally ring a bell to you. You might have to go back to Google and look up some of the more intricate or detailed parts of their theories, but you generally have and have worked in this field for a little bit. So this class is really, really tailored towards you administering, managing, running early childhood programs. So my name is Jolie, and this is my email right here. I will highlight it for you guys. It's really long. Please don't call me Crossway Van Squake. That is my social security birth name that Palomar insists on me using. I typically go by Jolie Van Squake professionally, but that is the email that they insist on. The best way to get a hold of me is to email me or to message me on Canvas. Right here is the message box off to the left-hand side that says inbox. So that is the best place to either shoot me a message or email me using this email. We really need you guys to also check your student emails. That's super, super important. That's where I will send out announcements telling you each Monday what to expect for the week coming. So you'll get those every Monday at 6 a.m., telling you what to do in the next 7 days. It's also really important. I can't really communicate with you about any like grades or any kind of like school information. It has to go through your Palomar student email. So if you're not going to check it regularly, please forward it to your personal email, your Gmail or your work account, whatever it is, just forward that student email or get in the habit of looking at it a couple of times a week so that you stay in touch with me and you stay in touch with the course as well. This is the book. It's Administration of Programs for Young Children from Cengage. You can get it digitally, you can get it used. I don't care about the edition. Find it in whichever way is cheapest and most affordable for you. All right, so class attendance and punctuality. This class is really based on you logging in every week. So every week I release lectures and I release an online assignment worth 10 points. So you really have to participate, you really have to be online in order to do well in the class. It's very cumulative, like all child development is. The next week is based on the week that we've done previous. So you need to be logged on at least once a week in order to see the lectures, do the class discussions, and do that 10-point online assignment as well. As far as like late projects, which I consider the director's file, the parent manual, and the interview with a director, you can turn those in late, but it'll be 50% off if it's at any point late. And I still need it within 2 weeks of the due date. As far as the weekly work, that is not accepted late. So each week, like I said, there's that 10-point late assignment, and that needs to be turned in every Sunday night by midnight. If it's late, I won't grade it, and you'll miss out on those points. Obviously, extenuating circumstances, your kid was in the hospital or, you broke your leg, please let me know as soon as possible and I can work with you. But for the most part, if you've just missed one, you've missed one, and I won't be grading your smaller weekly work. You can turn in the director's file parent manual or the professional interview that you'll be doing, but if it's late, it will be marked down 50% right away. Plagiarism is the examples are all right here about what plagiarism is. I'm not going to spend time going into that. Please read it on your own. I will say that plagiarism is very easy for us to catch now. We have plagiarism software that can look at your previous work, other students' work, and anything that has been submitted online. So please do not plagiarize. If APA or writing in a collegiate style is new to you, I have a bunch of tutoring resources right here for you guys, and this is the best bet if you are really struggling with kind of returning back and writing in a specific way. Running a program or working with children is very much about communication, and a lot of it is verbal, how we talk to our families, how we work with them, the partnerships we create. But there's a big, strong writing component as well, especially with technology, being able to send out good emails or letters or updates on any of the technology that we use. So this is an opportunity for you to work and write a lot in this class. And then also, if you need help, the tutoring center is fantastic. I used tutoring when I was at community college. I started at MiraCosta, and I used it for math because I was really struggling to get my transfer ready credits so that I could transfer to a four-year university. And I used their math resource, which was fantastic, and it so helped me. And the people there are like beyond nice. The tutoring, writing center, math center, they're all just phenomenally wonderful, kind people that really want to help you reach your goals. And that can be your professional goals, being a better and more effective writer in your work with children and families. All right, going back to that, we also have your APA. So your papers need to be using APA, title, page, abstract. So this really is going to be for your interview that you're going to do with a director or professional in our field. That one will need to be in APA. And then for your weekly work, I don't need the title, page, and abstract, but I will need in-text citations or reference pages if you're referencing a theorist or another body of work. So if we were writing about our curriculum. So in one of the week's assignments, you'll be writing about curriculum. If you were talking about Maria Montessori because you run a Montessori program, then you would need an in-text citation about her quote or whatever she had to say about curriculum, and then a reference page as well. If you're not citing anybody else's work, then you don't need a reference page for those individual weekly work. Those 10-point weekly works that we do, we don't need it with the title page and abstract. All right, we have a discussion each week, and so it's just important that we're kind and nice to each other. We'll go more over that as we kind of dive into discussions. But just remember, flippant or sarcastic words, remarks can be really taken out of context when we're in a writing format. I don't grade discussion boards either. There's no points associated with it. I think for this 150 class, I really have structured it as a professional resource for you, somewhere where you can share your perspectives and your understanding, and other people can share them with you. So this is a great place to talk about immunizations, or running programs, or how do you support people in lesson planning? How do you have a mix of experienced staff and newer staff? So I try to keep them fun, lots of pictures and videos, and asking questions, and I would love to hear you guys, and this is a great opportunity for you to teach, and also from you to learn from kind of our online community that we're going to be creating over the next 16 weeks. If you have a disability, a verified disability, please just send me your academic accommodations so that I am aware of them, and I typically like to have them within the first 2 weeks of school, just so I can make sure that we have the appropriate accommodations for you guys. All right, Canvas, if you are watching this video, you know how to access Canvas, but here it is. Everything will be on Canvas for this class: the course content, assignments, quizzes, papers, projects, and the final exam. Everything will be on Canvas from here on out. Once again, email, you have to have your student email, and please forward it to your personal or professional email if you don't check it regularly, because that's how we have to email with you. All right, and then Canvas grades. So it's a great way to keep track of how you are doing. I do separate, I do take grades offline, and I calculate your grades based on this actual the actual rubrics for the points. So there's 320 total points, and I calculate it on Excel off, because I've noticed that sometimes Canvas is a little bit off, but it is a great way for you to keep track of how you're doing and how I've graded you, so you can ask me questions, or you can make sure that you're continuing to do well in the class. But I do take them offline. I do an Excel spreadsheet, and then I submit them online to Palomar, typically the day after class ends. A lot of you are taking this class so you can get a permit, or you can start a new job, like you have a conditional offer. So I try to get those grades in as soon as possible so you can order transcripts for any kind of permit or job that you need to have. All right, so the most important thing is that you guys stay on top of these online assignments. So there's going to be 13 online assignments, so that's 130 points, and that's the biggest part of your grade for sure, is being able to log on, do the readings, watch the course videos, and then once again, do 10 online assignments. So it's basically most weeks you're doing some kind of assignment where you're writing or doing something online, and you have 7 days. I open it on a Monday and I finish it, and it shuts down on Sunday night. So make sure that you're doing this. The quiz, the parent manual, and the director's file, we're going to do that in class, so you really don't even have to worry about that. The quiz and final, it's on employee rights. I give you guys a reading to do that you're to download or even print if you want, and then there's a short 20-point quiz dedicated to employee rights, and that will be midway through the semester. It's really nothing to worry about. All of the answers for the quiz about employee rights are in the PDF that I'll give you guys. It's just an opportunity to reinforce your knowledge and learning about employee rights and how important they are. But once again, that'll just be part of our week. It's nothing to kind of stress over. The parent manual and the director's file that I've highlighted right here, we'll be writing that in class. So throughout each week, those 10-point online assignments that you're doing, that's actually getting you towards a director's file and a parent manual. So you don't need to worry about that. 1 week, I think it's right before Thanksgiving, and then the parent manual is in November as well. You will take the work that we've already completed through those weekly assignments, and you will compile it into the format for the parent manual and the director's file. So if you're staying on top of your online assignments, not only are you getting yourself close to those 130 points, you're also writing towards the parent manual and the director's file. Then the only kind of outside activity assignment that you do need to do is you're going to do a director's interview. So you are going to interview a professional or a director, an assistant director, just somebody who works with children in an early childhood education program. I have a separate video and separate instructions on that in another video here on Canvas as well. So just stay on top of your online assignments and start thinking about your director interview and who you'd like to reach out to in an interview. And you should be all set for this class. Here is a handy dandy one-page kind of agenda. So talking about all of the issues that we'll be talking about, employment, personnel, and it also has all of the due dates as well. So when the parent manual is due, when the director's file is due, the director interview, and the quiz as well. So this would be a great thing for you to print out. And then lastly, please remember that the final is due Friday, 12/13. So take a minute right now, take out your phone or your paper planner, however you structure and organize your life, PowerPoints, or Post-it notes, whatever it is, and write that the final is due Friday, 12/13. I will remind you about this closer, but a lot of times people get into this routine of Sunday night is when they do their work because that's when it's due. The final has to be turned in by Friday because that's the last day of our semester and I have to do grades the next day. So you have to turn in the Friday, you have to turn in the final exam, which is online as well on Friday, 12/13. So please, 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 please make sure that you give yourself a little note right now and stay on top of that. Put it in your phone so you have an alarm or in your planner because sometimes people will just forget about the final, not take it, and then they don't get those points, and that drops you at least a grade point. So if you were a B, you're now on like a low C. If you were a C, you're not passing the class. So just make sure that you know that the final is on the Friday, which is the last day of the semester, all the way out in December. All right, I am going to go back to the share screen that I have for our So here is, we're back on Canvas already. So once again, in that first module, you're right here. Here's the syllabus that we've gone over. Here's the success guide that has any kind of helpful hints and just support throughout the semester while you're doing it. Then here's the interview, and I've got a video for you guys. I've got the actual written assignment. I've got some guidelines for observing or visiting our child development centers, and the assignment is already up for you guys. So it's due in October, but I already have it up. So if you are going to have a really rough October, your DRDPs are due, you've got parent-teacher conferences, baseball for your kids, whatever it is, you might want to start thinking about that earlier rather than later, and you can submit it at any time. Same with the director file, and once again, we're writing this in class, but I also put a little video about it just because the work that you're doing in class, you probably want to save offline as well. So you submit it on Canvas, I grade it, I give you feedback on it every single week, and then you probably want to save it on Dropbox, Google Docs, a Word document, whatever is best for you and your technological ability. I'm not that techie, I just keep it on Word. So it's whatever works best for you, you're gonna wanna save those assignments that we're doing every single week. And then at the very end, you're gonna resubmit them. You're gonna have a table of contents. You're gonna give me 3 additional resources that you learned about from me, from your colleagues in the discussion board, something like that. And that is due November 24th. But that week, you guys I'll give you a format. I'll kind of tell you about it. I'll remind you that it's due. And you'll have time to kind of work on it in that week. All right, so then each week roughly looks like this. So each week will look like a lecture video. So for this week, I have a video just doing an overview and introduction of the course, what the work that we're going to be looking at, how important it is to stay online, what discussion boards are as well. Also for this week, you're going to do your weekly assignment. So it opens Monday at 6 a.m. and then it will close 11:59 on Sunday. And that's how it will be every week for 13 weeks to get those 130 points. So here's the child care administrator. You're gonna read a little PDF. There's a funny little video about leadership styles, and then you're just gonna write about 200 words, which is half a page, maybe a full page, what type of leader you are, what your strengths are, and what your areas of need are as far as leadership. Because this is a class about you kind of taking on more of a leadership role, being able to administer and manage, and part of that is kind of leadership. All right, also is a chance in our discussion board to introduce yourself. Once again, these are not graded, but I think it's really important if you are looking to be a professional, to be an administrator or a manager. This is an opportunity for you to share your perspective and all the wonderful things that you've learned working in the field, and also for you to learn from your coworkers and yourself as well. Talk a little bit about Netiquette, and then I introduce myself. I'm asking everybody to put a picture on. I think that really helps to kind of settle the community. We can see you. If you don't feel comfortable sharing yourself, you can share your dog, your kids, the beach that you love the most, any hobbies that you have, but just pictures do kind of help people start to feel more community minded as well. Then each week I have another PDF for you to read. So I'll send out an announcement each week telling you what you're going to be doing this week. And then I'll also give you another PDF to read. So sometimes there's lots of them, and this is totally for you to save. So if you like the PDFs, I put charts in, I put things about sanitizing and bleach, but there for you, there are resources for you, especially if you're making the transition into being a director. Having a place to store this on your computer might be really helpful. So then if you ever needed to go back and have that checklist or have that plan of action or that sanitizing sheet, it will be there for you guys as well. So this just generally was an introduction to the course. So we've done the syllabus, I've showed you the success guide, I've talked about the interview due October 6th. And once again, there's a video for that, and there's an assignment as well. And then as well, there's a director's file, and there's a written instructions for that. Each week will look roughly the same, and I'll also send out an announcement every week telling you what to do on Monday, and then I'll check back in on Thursday and see how you guys are doing, and reminding you about what you should be doing and finishing by Sunday. I'm so excited to be teaching this class. This is actually one of my favorite classes. I teach at a bunch of places. I teach at Cal State San Marcos, so if anybody's transferring, I'd love to see you over there. I teach child development classes in human development. I also teach over at Miracosta, and I also teach up at Chaffey, which is just north of us as well. I adore this class, though. Whenever I get a chance to teach it, I always jump for it. I think being a good administrator and manager of early childhood education programs is often kind of overlooked. We really focus on teaching, as we should. Those are the people that have their hands on our little ones all day long. We need them to be really trained. But a lot of times, at least for me, transitioning into, being an administrator was a really hard jump for me. I knew how to take care of children, and I knew how to work with families, but I wasn't always sure about how to work with my coworkers and how to be an effective manager and leader for them. So I had to kind of learn through work with my mentors, and so I'm hoping that in this class we can kind of mentor each other and we can learn more together about administration and management. Once again, if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate. My email is in the syllabus. It's jcrosswayvanscoik@palomar.edu. A lot of people find that it's easier off to this left-hand side where I'm circling right here is the inbox. You can just click on this and you can send a message to your instructor, which is me for this course, and I will get back to you. I check my emails Monday through Friday. I typically do it once or twice a day, kind of in the evening and then also in the morning. Expect a reply within 24-hour business hours. I don't check my emails on Saturday. That's my family time. I've got to do the whole mommy, little league, gymnastics, thing with my kids. And then Sunday, I do check it, but just once or twice. So if you're going to be somebody who's got to do all their work on Sunday because you've got kids and family commitments and work as well, I totally understand. take a look at each week's assignment. Just take a look at it so that if you have questions, you can ask me Monday through Friday when I'm very available to help you. Because if you're asking at 11 p.m. on Sunday and it's going to be due in 59 minutes, I'm asleep, or very hopefully I am asleep and have been asleep for a while because my kids wake up at 5 a.m. Just take a look at it. So I'm more than happy to help you, but you're going to want to ask any of those questions earlier in the week and not right before the assignment is due, when you're not going to get a response from me. It's going to kind of be the next day. All right, that is the welcome video. It was so great to record this video, and I hope to hear from you guys in the future. Enjoy the class.